How will the coronavirus affect through the mail autograph collecting? Coming up. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me as always. My name is Troy Rudder, aka TTM Troy, and if you have been paying attention to the last few weeks, it has been a crazy time in terms of both health, global health, as well as for autograph collectors and through the mail autograph collectors. It has seriously impacted all of our lives already. Now, I'm going to preface this video today by saying we are going to talk about the coronavirus or COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. But I also want to preface this by saying, in terms of our global pandemic that we're having, autograph collecting, whether it's in person or through the mail, is such a small, insignificant part of the whole thing. And you need to keep some perspective on it, because even though a lot of us spend a lot of our time, a lot of money, and maybe have spent a lot of money to go to spring training or whatever, we are in the middle of a crisis. And so I just want to put this out there that there are people who say, well, through the mail autograph collecting and autograph collecting, what a low priority for the coronavirus. And I get it, but it's something that if you're watching this video that has impacted you and you were looking for information on and you might be worried about, and I wanted to just tell you guys that it's okay to be concerned, and it's okay to kind of have a stake in what's going on out there. But we really have to just keep in mind that when you have people dying of a disease or an infection, autograph collecting is such a small part of that, and we just have to keep kind of a handle on that, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let's talk about it. First of all, when this started to hit pandemic proportions a couple of weeks ago, I'm recording this March 15th, I think. It was common sense things that people were doing. You had the Phillies and the Nationals and even the Astros. They started bringing in pre-signed items for people to sign, for players to sign, and they were distributing those to fans that were attending spring training. Now, as you know by now, spring training has been canceled, but these teams were trying to still provide some sort of experience for the fans. And this led to some bad feelings here and there. Older fans were thinking that the younger fans were getting all the pre-signed stuff and this, that, and the other. And you know what? I'm okay with that. When you're IPing, for this reason, me personally, I don't IP at baseball games, because it's like, let the kids get whatever they have. I have actually taken here in Des Moines, I have taken cards of people that have come down from the majors for rehab or whatever, and I actually give those out. And I give those out to kids who might want to get an autograph. Now, I also have a lot of TTM autograph Sharpies that I still have that I give out as well. Hopefully those get out into the atmosphere. But, having those pre-signed items was at least one step for these teams to try to keep some sort of autograph thing going while there was spring training going on. And then, obviously, that was over with. But while there were still some teams that were still going to the stands, even in March, or not in the stands, but up to the lines and signing. And you'd see those players, sometimes you keep their batting gloves on, and you didn't see them really giving their batting gloves away like maybe they normally would to fans. And I think that's what we're going to see is giving away personal items like that might go away. Also, high fives, obviously, as well as, there are going to be people who will not risk, and rightfully so, giving autographs to fans, touching a ball, a card, a photo, a pen, or even just being around people that are potentially sick. Which brings us to Rudy Gobert. Now, as pretty much everybody knows, Rudy Gobert, after giving a press conference where he joked about the coronavirus and touched all the microphones. He came down with the coronavirus, and or he probably already had it at that point. And as of yesterday or the day before, there's actually one child in Rhode Island who had contact with Rudy Gobert at one of those games. Now, the officials are playing down the fact, and they're saying, hey, this is completely independent. He didn't get it from Rudy, but this kind of goes into the whole mentality, and this is why all of these sporting events are canceling, or suspending seasons or friends and family only games, because it is such a cesspool, I guess I could say, of germs when you get people in these arenas, and even when they're coming out of the locker room and high-fiving or whatever they have. So I completely understand where the sports teams are coming from at this point, but what we really want to know, as if you're watching this channel, is how does this affect TTMing? Okay, and that is both a hard and an easy question, and let's just talk about it. So as you guys all know, TTMing stands for through the mail autograph collecting, and it's where you send a picture, a photo, which are the same things. Why did I say that? I don't know. Or a baseball card, or a baseball, or even a football, whatever, through the mail to a player, hoping that they'll send it back or sign it and send it back to you. Now, this, by definition, sounds really, really scary to all the people that are saying this virus spreads so fast. But let's take a look at just some of the reciprocal actions or the reciprocal problems or challenges that TTMing will have in the future. And let's just talk about spring training first. For the past 2 or 3 years, I have been doing the TTM hot list, and that is a hot list that says what players are signing during spring training. And from early February, the second week of February until, well, basically last week, people were sending a lot of mail to players in Florida, in Arizona, or wherever they're having their spring training. And what's going to happen to those, basically, is the question. Okay, so there are 2 likely scenarios here. One, those that are remaining at the stadium, well, maybe three scenarios right now. Okay, so here's the first scenario. Any mail that is currently there at spring training for all of these clubs will simply get thrown away. Now, this is the option that scares the most people, okay? But honestly, it is probably the most accurate and the highest probability that any mail that you have sent to spring training that you have not gotten back yet will probably simply be thrown away. This is the safest thing for the players. This is the safest thing for the teams, and it's the safest thing for Major League Baseball. Even though, and we'll talk about this later, there is almost 0% of transferring the virus via the mail, okay? But that is probably the number one outcome that's going to come of this. If you haven't gotten something back from spring training, chances are, especially now, you are not going to get it back. Now, the second situation, or the second possibility, is that when the teams departed spring training, that they actually gave the players their TTMs or their requests, and they're taking those back home and sending them out still. Now, this is highly unlikely just because of all the chaos and the news of the coronavirus and how transmittable it was. If they were given their items, chances are those players, I would say, if I was one of those players, I would probably throw them out as well, just because it's a lot easier than to try to deal with the what ifs of the situation. Now, if they were smart, they would the players would use this and see the news and know that the possibility is very slim that the virus is on those. And even if it was within pretty much 24 to 48 hours, it can't live on the surfaces anymore. And so it would have been dead anyway. And so you could just put it away for a week or 2 weeks or whatever you have, and then open them up and start doing it. But I think most players, if they were given their mail, would probably just toss it as well. And this is something that is very difficult to hear, is very difficult for me to say, but in all likelihood, that is probably what is going on right now for stuff that was sent to the stadium. Now, a third possibility exists where they will simply sit there until next year. I know a lot of people, including myself, have, when they sent to spring training last year, they started getting spring training stuff from the previous year. Well, because of the virus and because of the safety concerns, these stadiums are going to be undergoing a deep cleaning. And so the likelihood of your request letter staying with the team for a whole year or being forwarded to their home stadium is very unlikely. And so that is why I personally believe, and I have not had a chance to corroborate this with any current Major League player. Maybe you have seen something contrary or otherwise, but I personally believe that if you have not received something from especially baseball spring training right now, that those requests will probably never be seen again. And I really hate saying that. And there are going to be comments down below that are like, you're wrong. I just got one yesterday. And I understand. I completely understand that I may be completely wrong. And that is fine. But it's my opinion that there have been a lot of TTM sent that will just be destroyed and disposed of. They won't even bother to RTS them. And I'm sorry, but that is my opinion. So let's talk about, is through the mail autograph collecting, if you were to send out a TTM today to someone either at their home or at their stadium or their team, whatever, what is the possibility of catching the coronavirus from a TTM? And the answer is practically zero. Now I say practically because that's what all the doctors say, practically zero, because they don't want to be wrong. But everything I have read, every single article I have read says that the coronavirus can stay on hard surfaces for up to 24 hours. Now this includes pens and cardboard, aka trading cards, glossy photos or photos in general, your envelopes, whatever. Now, it does stay on hard surfaces longer than porous surfaces. And so that's why even packages that are coming from China, they are almost 100% sure that those are safe. Like it doesn't survive both that long because it usually takes 2 days to get a package. Well, from China it takes forever. I've ordered stuff from China, but in the US an average of 2 days to send a letter. But it is much more likely, and I'm actually going to read this here. Let's see. Okay, so here's a quote right here. Although theoretically it's possible for coronavirus to get onto a package at the source of delivery, it's virtually impossible for the virus to survive due to the package going through harsh conditions in transit, says Darshan Shah, MD, founder and medical director at Next Health. Mechanical, temperature, and humidity changes would likely kill the virus before it arrives at your doorstep. And that's true. I mean, you cannot refute that. These are multiple doctors saying that the mail is safe. But how does that affect the players that are getting the mail? They may be taking extraordinarily cautious procedures and doing things differently and just not to take chances. And that is their right. However, and this is something that, I don't know how to get this out to Major League Baseball, especially, but it is okay to do TTMs. It is still okay for you to send a TTM. It is still okay for you to receive a TTM. It's still okay for athletes and celebrities to sign TTMs. Now, people are going to be scared. And there will be people who don't sign. And there will be people immediately RTSing your item. And that is going to happen. But overall, there is no danger or a very slim chance of catching the coronavirus using through the mail autograph collecting. It just does not happen. And there are no cases, 0 cases right now of people catching the coronavirus through a package over the mail. It is more likely for you to catch the coronavirus with from your mail carrier who sneezes when putting your mail into your mailbox. That is such a more likely scenario than to catch the coronavirus through an autograph request. There you have it. That if nothing else during this video, that is what I want you to come away with, is that it is much more likely for you to contract the coronavirus from your mail carrier than it is through an actual piece of mail. And you can quote me on that. Not that I'm a medical doctor, but that is what I am reading. And everybody says the exact same thing. So how is this going to affect TTM autograph collecting in the near future, or maybe forever? And, in-person autographs, we can blabber about that at the end of the video. I mainly do TTM videos, and so that is why I am doing this video pretty much solely connected to the TTM way of life or way of collecting, whatever. So how is this going to affect things? First, if you sent to spring training, I'm sorry, chances are your TTM will never be seen. And there may be exceptions, and again, I may be totally off base, but I really think that we're going to see a significant slowdown for TTMs that were sent from to stadiums, to spring training specifically, that were sent in early March. I think most of those, once the coronavirus stuff was started in Major League Baseball and those closings started until, spring training is canceled. So I think those will not be RTS'd. I think those are simply gone. I'm sorry. Now, you may still get stuff that was sent early on in spring training, and those may still come in. And if you sent to the Royals, who knows if you'll ever get anything, because they were RTSing weird stuff. They were RTSing from some mail and not others, but that's a whole other subject. But in the spring training Major League Baseball right now, I truly believe that TTMs that were sent from the beginning of March through now will not be seen again. And definitely, I hope this rings a bell for everybody, but I would not even start sending to the actual stadiums yet. I would just wait to see how this is playing out. Obviously, you're not going to send to spring training now because there's no use, but I really caution people about sending things to the stadium at this point. Maybe some news will come out. Maybe there'll be a vaccine sooner than everybody thinks, but honestly, I would not start sending to the stadiums yet either, because it is unknown what the future ramifications of the coronavirus are going to be on Major League Baseball. Obviously, with the NBA, you need to don't send anything to NBA right now unless it's a retired player. There are address sites on the internet, such as Star Tiger and stuff like that, that have players' home addresses. If you want to send to the home addresses, just be very cautious, I guess. Again, like I always say when people do TTMs, don't send anything that you'd be heartbroken if you didn't get back, because in this short period of time, in March, April, and probably even May, you will see celebrities. There will be a slowdown on the amount of TTMs, no matter how much people try to tell them that the mail is safe. There are going to be people who are overly cautious, and frankly, I don't think you can be overly cautious. It's expected. Don't hate on your players. Don't hate on fellow collectors if they get something and you don't. Just expect that we are going to have, at least for the foreseeable future, a slowdown in TTMs. Now, I will say for retired players, I have not seen any impact. My TTMs are still coming in March. I've gotten a bunch of NBA that I just decided to start sending, and so those are still coming in. So far, I have had no real slowdown in retired players, whether it's from baseball or the NBA. But for current players that are trying to stay healthy and keep their family healthy, I think we are going to see a slowdown. Even though, like I said, and I'll say it again, there is practically zero chance of catching the coronavirus through the mail unless your mail carrier sneezes on it as they put it inside your mailbox. So I'm going to summarize what I've said for you today, and we are actually going to take a closer look at this on the next Autographers Anonymous podcast that'll be coming up here very shortly. We're recording it on Tuesday, I believe, St. Patrick's Day, so that should be interesting. And we're going to be talking about this, and so I encourage you to check it out. You can find a link to the Autographers Anonymous YouTube and Facebook page and website down below in the description if you want to be sure to get notified. If you want to get notified of different videos that I do on my channel, make sure the alarm bell is actually clicked, pushed, whatever you want to call it, and do that down there, and then you'll get notified every time I do a video. So let's summarize. So first, there will be a slowdown. Definitely will be a slowdown in terms of current players for Major League Baseball and NBA players, obviously. Second, mail sent to spring training that you have not gotten back is most likely being destroyed. I would love to talk to someone in charge of fan relations at one of the spring training what do you call it? Arenas? Spring training, I can't think of the name. Complexes. That's what it was. I had a complex about a complex right there. I'd love to talk to someone at a spring training complex about whether they are whether they gave the mail to the players or whether it's just all being destroyed. They probably wouldn't go on the record saying either way, but I would be very surprised if any of the players took the mail sent to them in March home with them. I would be very surprised. And third, don't be afraid to keep TTMing. Look for retired players or even current players. Do not send to the stadiums yet for baseball. Just hold off on that. It might be returned to sender to you. We just don't know what is going on there. But the main thing is you're not going to contract coronavirus, COVID, COVID, whatever, 19 from the mail unless your mail carrier literally sneezes on a package, puts it in your mailbox, and you get it out of the mailbox very soon and rub your eyes with it. So as long as that doesn't happen, you're probably almost 0.1% or whatever. Or wait, 0.1%. Yeah, that would be one or whatever. Math is hard. But there's almost zero likelihood of you getting the coronavirus through the mail. This goes for people TTMing. This goes for athletes. They will never say there is zero risk, but what they say in this article that I had here, it says, let's see, there's never zero risk if someone sneezes on a package, especially the first day. But there is a very, very unlikely that you will get coronavirus from players to fans through the mail. So we might be seeing, even though it's slowing down, people might be turning to TTMing more. And so we might be seeing more people come on YouTube and look at through the mail autograph collecting. And that is good. But unfortunately, I think we are at a point where it is going to slow down a little bit. And we are still in the early stages. So I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Put your comments down below. Again, we will be talking about this on the Autographers Anonymous podcast, which is coming up on, it'll be available after it's recorded, but we're going to do the live recording on March 17th. Is that right? Yeah, Tuesday. I don't think we're doing it live, broadcasting live, but we'll see how that goes. But definitely let me know what you think down below. If you think I'm way off base, let me know. I can handle it. If you think I'm right, let me know. You know, it's just such an involving conversation right now. And like I said at the beginning, autograph collecting through the mail is such a small thing when it comes to the coronavirus. And in some ways, it's like, are we really putting this much emphasis on autograph collecting when it comes to the coronavirus, but I know it's on everybody's minds, and I've seen a few people do videos, and I just wanted to take the time and talk to you one-on-one about what I'm thinking, because I've been getting asked what my opinions are, and obviously I'm disappointed that in spring training and all these events being canceled just like you guys, and we're just gonna have to wait and see, and that is all I have. So thank you so much for listening and engaging in the conversation with me today. Again, down in the comments, I'll be answering questions and watching your comments as well. Try to be respectful to each other when it comes to opinions. Again, I have no problem being wrong. I hope I am wrong about the TTMs going in the garbage, basically. But that is my opinion, because I don't think that these baseball teams want to take any type of chance that stuff sent to spring training has any type of virus on it, even though the experts say there's no problem. So thank you. Hope everybody is having a fantastic week despite the social distancing and despite the coronavirus stuff. I'm going to be back with more videos this next week, and hopefully you guys will have a giant mail day soon. So may your mailboxes be full and your stamps forever. Bye-bye.